that you can't bring up every detail. I was just wondering kind of if you could remember, because that would give me
they call me the prophet.
There's one prophet, multiples. I'm sorry.
They call me the prophet. This is the prophet.
Okay, the prophet. But that still could mean that there's multiple prophets. You're just the prophet, maybe of a specific category. Who knows, man? I'm going to leave it all
maybe.
Open, and I'm not making it.
Yeah, exactly. I don't understand the whole thing on that stuff either, but I don't know.
Okay, very cool. So let's see, where were we? After this process, you wake back up. Okay, he continues to refer you to as the prophet. At this point, do the aliens know or use your name in any way when they're addressing you?
Mm-mm.
Or is it just the prophet? Okay.
The prophet.
Are they in your mind? Can they recognize that you're comfortable with the name Ricky, so they use it to make you comfortable? Kind of was my mentality when asking that. Was there any further conversation on them calling you a prophet? Did you ask them why they called you this, or did you get any further details on that? And then we'll get off the prophet subject.
I didn't care. Honestly, I didn't care what they called me. They could have called me Batman for all I care. I sure wasn't going to tell them who I really was. I'd rather them just let them think who I am. They got me. Nothing I can do. Let's just deal with it. And again, it would be I think I'd be wasting valuable time by just saying, oh, you guys could just call me Ricky. Call me what you want. Let's get this over with. And that's just how I kind of thought about it.
Okay. So you can call me Batman as long as you give me a safe return or don't break the pact that we had. This is all cool to me. So yeah, I can understand that.
To me, that was all little minor stuff. That I didn't give a damn what they called me.
Right. I was just trying to get into your mentality. This is giving me a good feeling of how you were feeling while you were on the ship, and also maybe how the aliens were reacting to you. So we're painting a picture here for me and the audience, Ricky. This is your experience, man. It's great to be with you and to be able to talk to you about it and have you be so open about it and bring it to us. I think that's kind of why people like me want to get out here and hear stories. Why would I create a paranormal show just to bring people on? Well, I'll tell you, it's better than Xbox. It's not just that. It also, I feel, builds a library for me to where if I'm ever in that situation, I may be more understanding towards it or be able to handle myself properly. Maybe I'm called to get some sort of education. Maybe you're called to share some sort of information. I don't know. Just to take a quick pause, what do you think of the relationship between the seeker and the knower, I suppose? I know you said that you think they may not care, but I suppose that maybe I'm trying to build a category there.
Okay. Well, that's a perfect question for this perfect moment. Okay. The student, there's nothing greater in this planet than a great teacher. Nothing. And I believe I'm a great teacher. And in a great teacher's eyes, there's nothing better than a great student. And a great teacher always wants that student to become a greater teacher than the teacher that taught him. And it's so hard to find that. And that's how I look at it. And I really feel that way, that I've got so much that I could teach, and it's not really teaching, it's reawaken. I got so many ways to reawaken what you already know by my words. And if you can just understand what I've been through and what I've walked and where I've been, you know the same stuff. I mean, you can just tell them people, They could be,
well, I told you, exactly like I said with the alien touching your arm, that gave me a bit of deja vu. Maybe that is one small piece of my jigsaw puzzle. I feel confused. I think that a lot of people feel confused. Where are we from? Where are we going? Where do I fit in this world?
Right.
I've found myself to be an outlier personally. When you ask my friends and stuff who I am, they'll tell you I'm an alien. They don't know what's up with this guy PJ. He's out there on his own limb and he does his own things, and I pride myself on that and stuff too. So it's just the way I am. It's who I am, and who knows? Maybe that's some attribute that was given to me in space upon an abduction. Maybe that started at 2 for every 2 years. Who knows until I remember it. A lot of abductees don't wake up or remember their stories until later on in life. I understand that happened to you too. Is that right?
Right, right, and I don't really even care if my story is the story that makes everybody realize, because maybe it's somebody you tell, and that person you told is going to tell somebody, and maybe I'll be dead for 200 years, but when it comes to be, this is where it started. You know what I mean? That old guy 200 years ago, Ricky, you know. Right. It's every step is meant to be, even though if I'm not there to see it happen. But it has to be done.
Yeah, absolutely. So maybe back to the story here, Ricky. I feel the same way is all I can say.
Right. I know we're getting sidetracked, but I know exactly where we were. We were at when I popped out. And this is what I wanted to get back to you was, the first thing I asked was why they took my semen. First thing, as soon as I remember I woke up, I asked them, why did you take my semen? No, hi, how are you? What's up? I just wanted to know that. And they said, to make babies in space. And again, that's when I started to know. I already knew about the telepathy, and then I realized they were talking to me like I'm a little kid, like a little 5-year-old kid. And, you know, we make babies in space. And then I was like, you know, I was all worried about that and why. And I started telling them how it's kind of messed up what they're doing. And that's when he started telling me about how what we do, what makes them worse than us.
Right, well, you're pretty much a surrogate father in space. I'd be worried about, you know, those are my babies. You know, where my baby's going to be. But, you know, ultimately, I think there maybe was a calmness brought to you about that, but we'll see. But we're moving right towards where I wanted to, because we're almost going to talk. Well, exactly what's next is hitting right on that subject and where maybe these individuals came in. But you were taken down a hallway. And there were rooms at this point, is what I understand. But the first room that you came across is where you were showed 2 Caucasian kids sitting at desks pointed towards a wall. What did you sense about the kids when you first saw them sitting in the room? Were they prisoners? Had they been there since birth? Were they happy to be there? What did you think of the kids that you came across?
Okay. I love these questions. First thing, okay, he's answering my questions by showing me these kids. First thing I'm thinking, okay, I already know I'm kidnapped. I'm basically taken at by gunpoint and taken somewhere. I compare it to that. So I'm thinking these kids are the same. And I'm thinking this is all instantly me thinking. So I'm thinking instantly these kids are going to get up and run to me. And now there's three of us, and now we got a chance. But they didn't even panic. They didn't even act like I was here for the rescue. They were comfortable. It didn't look like they were there against their will. So that was one weird thing to me. I was like, man, that's kind of weird. Because if that was me and I was on the moon and they brought in another human, I'd be all over it, man. We got to get out of here. Where you come from? How'd you get here? They didn't even ask anything.
So there wasn't a single word. How old would you say the kids were?
14 to 15.
Okay, so that's an age where I would consider a normal human being curious or ornery. We'll get into normal or what we thought these kids were, but did the aliens give any further insight on the kids, why they were there or their purpose? They showed you the kid to answer your question as to why they were taking the semen, but did they tell you any more about the kid, the purpose of creating this race of humans?
That was more of a download. That was more of a download. It was like they told me that, and it's like as they're telling me that, bam, I'm like, bam. They just loaded me up like a computer, literally.
Right.
So I already know. I don't even have to ask.
Off subject, but when did the download occur? When did you get that? Was it before you were dropped back off here? Did you get that later in life?
No. Some there and some later, but like that, the pure humans thing was there. Yes. Hold on a second. They're next door watching movies. I'm sorry about that.
No, not at all. You're fine. Take any time you need, Ricky, really. I got kids, man. We got hearts. Our audience got hearts, man. Take your time with doing whatever you got to, man. We're happy to break for a minute, take a breath. I can even play a song if you need to.
No, it's good. It's good.
Just let me know.
But,
okay.
But that